The city council chamber hummed with tension, a battleground of glass versus history. Liam stood beside his model, a sleek, cold skyscraper that promised profit and progress. The future of this city isn't in relics, he argued, his voice as sharp as the building's proposed angles. It's in bold, forward-thinking design. Across the room, Elara countered, her voice a warm contrast to the sterile environment. Behind her, vintage black-and-white photos of the Grand Majestic Theater flickered to life. "This isn't a relic," she declared, her passion evident. "It's the soul of our city, a place where memories were built." Their witty, sharp dialogue laid bare their conflicting worlds, a clash of modern ambition and heartfelt preservation. They were forced into a final inspection of the theatre, an unwilling truce in a war of ideals. Dust motes danced like tiny sprites in the moonlight that streamed through a grimy, forgotten skylight. As they navigated the silent, cavernous space, their argument from the council meeting reignited, their voices echoing in the emptiness. Suddenly, an unnatural cold swept through the grand hall, clinging to them like a shroud. A faint, ethereal whisper, no louder than a breath, sighed Elara's name. Liam, ever the pragmatist, scoffed. "It's just a draught from these old windows." But Elara paused, a shiver running down her spine that had nothing to do with the cold. She was unsettled, yet undeniably intrigued. Curiosity, a powerful and shared motivator, drew them back to the theatre under the cloak of night. This time, the presence was undeniable. The ghost of a man in 1920s attire materialized before them, his form clearer, more defined. He didn't speak, but his sad, profound eyes were fixed on Elara, a silent plea echoing from a bygone era. Liam froze, his carefully constructed wall of skepticism crumbling into dust. Every logical explanation evaporated, leaving him staring in disbelief. Elara, however, felt a surprising sense of calm. Sensing no threat, she stepped forward, her gaze meeting the spectre's. The ghost, Julian, raised a translucent hand, and shimmering visions of the theatre's past, glory of opening nights, and roaring applause began to bloom in the air around them. Julian, their silent guide, led them through a maze of forgotten corridors to his old, dust-choked office. He pointed a spectral finger at a plain, unremarkable section of the wall. A silent instruction. Now a team, united by the impossible, they worked together. Liam, pulling out a stud finder and a small hammer, tapped against the wall, his tech confirming a hollow space behind the plaster. Suspense thickened the air as they carefully broke through the surface. Inside, nestled within a hidden compartment, was a roll of perfectly preserved, hand-drawn blueprints. Liam unrolled them with a reverent touch, his expression shifting from skepticism to pure, unadulterated awe. "These designs," he breathed, his voice filled with wonder, "they're revolutionary. Decades ahead of their time." They spread the blueprints across the dusty stage floor, their worlds converging under the narrow beam of a flashlight. As Liam traced a brilliant structural detail, his hand brushed against Elara. A spark, potent and unexpected, arced between them, a silent acknowledgement of a new connection being forged. "I was wrong," Liam admitted, his gaze lifting from the genius on the page to the passionate woman beside him. "Completely wrong. You saw what I refused to." Just then, Julian showed them one final, heartbreaking vision. His rival, old and frail on his deathbed, confessing to stealing the designs and walling them up after Julian's sudden, untimely death, his legacy buried with him. A montage of purpose and partnership followed. We see Liam and Elara, their faces bright with excitement, presenting a new restoration plan to a stunned city council. We see them laughing over coffee, blueprints spread between them, during the first days of reconstruction. Then, the grand reopening night. The Grand Majestic Theater is breathtaking, restored to a glory even greater than its past. a perfect fusion of historic soul and modern innovation. From the wings, Liam and Elara watch the first act begin. He reaches for her hand, their fingers intertwining naturally. As he leans in, they share a sweet, hopeful kiss, a promise of a shared future. High above, in the ornate balcony, the faint, smiling ghost of Julian watches them, a look of peace on his face before fading away forever.